What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that I was going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. It says Sonny Hostin's son Gabriel cited for trespassing. When I tell you, like, it doesn't make sense to me when it comes down to the things that Sonny does. You know, but I mean, it's Sonny. I'm not surprised. Truly not surprised by it. Truly have it right here. It says the View co-host Sonny Hostin, who lectures everyone about equal justice, just demonstrated how liberal privilege works. Her 24-year-old son Gabriel Hostin was cited for trespassing on active Metro North railroad tracks in New York. According to court records, her son was spotted jogging along the right-of-way near 24 Station Plaza shortly before 8 p.m., ignoring posted no trespassing signs. Reports say her son was being very disrespectful to the officers, and he called his mommy up, as it says. And Sonny Hostin got on the phone with the officer to play the celebrity card. Early this morning, she claimed that seeing American flags in the community also makes her feel unsafe. So you have Sonny Hostin that has truly, obviously played this whole card like, just because she's a celebrity and she's on The View, everything needs to go her way. And that's truly what most likely her son felt as well. She always says that, she's some lawyer and she's been within law enforcement and she's on The View and this, that, and the other. She made it more so seem that way, and it's truly crazy of having, somebody, and especially, I can tell y'all right now, I'm not one to assume, but if Sonny Hostin is acting like that and then got on the phone and saying that to a police officer, I can tell you right now, just by her son doing this and calling her up, I can definitely tell you that he most likely probably was seeing, obviously, it says, he was being disrespectful, but him being disrespectful, him saying, do you know who my mom is, this, that, and the other, it's truly wild. Definitely wild to me. Says Sonny Hostin reportedly asked cops if they knew who she was. So, when her son Gabriel was hit with the trespassing violation in New York last month. And it truly just goes to show you just how it is. It's a post by New York Post. You have it right here. Says she spent years preaching that nobody is above the law. Then her son gets cited for trespassing, and then excuses start rolling in. She put a whole letter out, and I'll read y'all just some stuff on it. Said, I respectfully request that the people consider dismissing the violation prior to the scheduled court appearance. I'll be grateful for the opportunity to discuss this matter before the scheduled appearance date, as I believe it can be resolved without a need for court intervention. Also says right here, the circumstances in this case do not reflect the type of conduct that the New York penal law was intended to address. My client is a 2025 Harvard University graduate with no criminal history or prior contact with the criminal justice system. That doesn't mean, I don't know what, like regardless of what you're doing, if you did somewhat of a crime, still, okay, he's a Harvard University graduate. So that just gives him authority to just do stuff, I guess. Says while jogging, he observed what appeared to be a gravel incline that could be used for hill training. Although there was a gate at the entrance of the gravel incline, the gates were standing up. The only no trespassing sign was fixed to the left gate, and because the gates were open, it was not visible to my client as he entered the property. He reasonably believed that the area was accessible and had no intention of entering private property unlawfully. Says while training on the hill, my client was approached by a police officer. The defendant called me immediately, and I arrived at the location within minutes. Of course, it truly just goes to show you, Sonny Hostin obviously thinks, that she's above the law, and she's truly not. Truly not. Tell y'all, you got it right here. It's TMZ. Speaking on it, y'all.
Hostin from The View is flexing her legal muscle, and it involves her son. Her son was training, he's an athlete, on this dirt road, and he saw this gravel incline with a gate open, so he went in to train on the gravel, not seeing there was a no trespass sign on that gate. Police officer came by, cited him. Sonny ended up showing up at the scene, but the officer still wrote the ticket. It is a minor criminal offense, but still a criminal offense. Sonny wrote this letter, and I gotta say, it is awesome. She really lays out a case that this Harvard grad with a clean record should not be penalized this way because the gate was open and he didn't see the sign. She is asking that the case be dismissed. Now, this has become a public issue now that we have this letter, so we will see if the DA bends and makes this case go away. Hostin from
I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely a wild statement, a wild thing about it, she isn't happy. Who cares? Like, who honestly cares? I mean, we go within a lot. I mean,
Nope.
it's truly wild within it. Play this post by Link Lauren. But I definitely want to say that I'm gonna show y'all some other things, when it comes down to Sunny Hostin, and I truly just don't feel as if, with what's going on, within her family, she always wanted to play a race car. I'm gonna let this video play, and we're gonna get more into that.
No one is above the law. Sunny Hostin from The View. She's apparently trying to use her celebrity stature to get her son out of his alleged criminal activity. Now, to paint the picture for you, her son was out running and was trespassing on private property allegedly. And when he was stopped by the police, he's 24 years old, I believe. He immediately called his famous mommy. He called his mommy to come to the scene of the crime and help him. Now, according to our sources, she immediately showed up and started saying, "Do you know who I am? I'm Sunny Hostin from The View. I am a co-host on The View. I don't care if you're Humpty Dumpty. Your kid was trespassing. Your kid was freaking
Exactly.
trespassing. And you're the legal expert on The View." So now Sunny Hostin, and all of her legal expertise, she has decided to represent her son in this court case, in this trespassing case. And she sent a letter, right? She sent a letter to the district attorney basically saying, "My son is a Harvard graduate. My son is a junior Olympian. He is an outstanding citizen." Let me break that down. Your son's a Harvard graduate, but he can't read a no trespassing sign. This is why you shouldn't send your kids to Ivy League schools, okay? You send your kid to Harvard, he should have done Hooked on Phonics. He can't read the no trespassing sign. Boo-boo, what's going on? I don't care if you got your GED at Chuck E. Cheese. If it says no trespassing,
There's no trespassing.
those rules apply to all of us. They apply to all of us. Also, telling me he went to Harvard University and that's an excuse. He went to Harvard. He's a really good boy. I know plenty of white-collar criminals who went to Ivy League schools. Look at Sam Bankman-Fried, Elizabeth Holmes. The list goes on. There are plenty of criminals who went to fancy schools. Because he's from Harvard? Oh, we should give him a break because he went to Harvard.
Exactly.
And I'm a host on The View. What does that have to do with anything? Oh, you're the host on The View. So basically, you're a histrionic, insane woman with a below average IQ. So she's trying to use her celebrity status to get him out of the ticket. Also, saying he's a junior Olympian, well, are we just going to list all our resumes? When I was in 4th grade, I got a participation trophy in choir class. No, we need to have a reality check with this woman. This is also a woman. It's interesting now she's facing the American legal system, where she said last week that American flags make her feel unsafe. She has sat there on that television set for years and years and years and pushed for every conservative, Republican, independent to be locked up. How many times has she called President Trump a felon? We have a felon in the White House, and you're a criminal, and you're this, and you need to be to the fullest extent of the law. I hope they send your son away like Shawshank Redemption, baby. I really don't. But I just think it's interesting how karma always comes back around. You know what I'm saying? Your son went to Harvard. He allegedly can't read a no trespassing sign. And here we are.
So y'all have it right there. Like said, regardless of where he's from, what school he went to, this, that, and the other, Still can't do that, you know, and nobody's above the law. Like Lee said, this is the same person who's, Trump is a felon, this person did that, this, that. Soon as it's your family, think you're above the law. It's truly not right. It's another, it says I have been discriminated against, and now that I have to tell my children that they have less civil rights than I did when they was born. It's all about race when it comes down to Sonny. However you look at it, it's all about race, and it's truly sickening of what she does and how she does it. I'm telling y'all, this is the same individual. I'm gonna just play the video.
I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was. My family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that...
Obviously, your children didn't get the whole memo when it came down to it. Truly. Still got the whole... and like I said, again... Thank our family, when it comes down to it, it's above the law. This is Manny Hostin, husband, obviously, of co-host Sonny, has been accused of insurance fraud along with nearly 200 other defendants in one of the largest RICO cases in New York history. This is something that definitely was swept up under the rug, which I'm not surprised, and you shouldn't be either. It's truly crazy. This is something they should have been talking about on The View. But unfortunately, like always, they don't. Definitely crazy. The simple fact that, obviously, anytime it comes down to it, from what I've seen, from when it comes down to it with her husband, with her son, she obviously thinks, or within herself, says Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including, these surgeries that went on. And y'all know for a fact, Sonny Hostin knew as well. But again, she thinks she's clearly above the law. Y'all let me know comments and thoughts down below. Definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Catch y'all next one.